After the US pulled its troops out of Iraq, ISIS sprang up. By the summer of 2014, the extremist group was galloping across the country. Iraq's second largest city, Mosul, fell in just a matter of days. The Iraqi army was in shambles, and Baghdad was at risk. Who stopped the ISIS advance in Iraq? The US turned to its steadfast allies, the Kurds. Kurds are an ethnic group that have their own language, their own food, costume, their own militias, everything but their own country. The land Kurds live on is splayed among a handful of Middle Eastern states. The Kurds in Iraq formed a line in front of ISIS, and with the help of US airstrikes, put a stop to the ISIS advance. Later, Kurdish forces supported the reconstituted Iraqi army's massive counteroffensive on ISIS. Some 2,000 Kurdish fighters died fighting ISIS in Iraq. Another 18,000 were wounded. In Syria, same story, only more so. Syria is where ISIS had its capital, where it retreated from Iraq, and where it made its last stand. And in Syria, the country's Kurds were the only ground force the US could count on against ISIS. The fighting was ferocious and went on for months. In Syria, 11,000 Kurdish fighters died fighting ISIS. 21,000 were wounded. American deaths numbered in the single digits. President Trump took great credit for defeating ISIS, and last year he said he honored the Kurdish sacrifice that made victory possible.
Tens of thousands of Kurds died fighting ISIS. They died for us and with us and for themselves. They died for themselves. But they're great people. And we have not forget. We don't forget. I don't forget.
So there was outrage when Trump abruptly pulled out a tiny U.S. force that was protecting the Kurds from another enemy, the Turkish army. Turkey regards Syria's Kurdish militia as a threat. The country has had a civil war with a wing of the same militia for decades. The history between Turkey and the Kurds is not simple. Turkey long denied Kurds their own identity, dubbing them Mountain Turks, but almost nothing in the Middle East is simple. President Trump's betrayal of an ally is a rare exception. Shortly after he moved U.S. troops back, Turkish artillery opened up on the Kurds, who retreated. Among the positions at risk is a prison holding thousands of ISIS fighters, which the Kurds had been guarding. ISIS has a history of massive jailbreaks. And with the Kurds now turning their attention to the attacking Turks and the U.S. pulling out, the question is, who will keep ISIS from starting the whole thing over again?